gain after speaking affirmations over yourself. The more you hear it, the more you believe that it's true.
And welcome to Premier Fitness. I'm Gene Williams, your yoga instructor, and I'm here to tell you about the benefits of yoga.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us. You have just tuned in to Where is the Love? I am your host. I am Stephanie Hawkenhall. Joining me is my son, my co-host, Gene Williams.
What it dizzy too? How you doing today, man? I don't know what that was. That just came out.
You so silly out, and I was trying to check and see if if I did share my, I don't know what the heck I did. I'll have to check that in a minute. It says that it's streaming. Hey everybody. Again, thank you for right to Where's the Love. On our show, we have been talking about gaslighting. So our main subject is bullying. Bullying happens to everybody of every, in every age range, and it happens everywhere. Gaslighting does too. And gaslighting makes bullying worse. So we have been having that conversation and sharing information with you. But first, you can join us on YouTube on Love Misunderstood Institute or on Premier Fitness 0210. You can watch us there. You can also watch us right now as we're airing the show. You can watch us on Roku or Amazon Fire. On those, just search POD TV space LIVE and watch us live on TV while we're doing the show only. Also, you can watch us on the website podtv.tv at any time. Where is the love? So we're going to get started. We're going to jump right in. Gene, you want to start? Or you want to say anything before we start?
Yeah, well, I did want to say that, again, we're talking about gaslighting. Gaslighting is one of the major things that people with narcissistic personality disorder utilize as a tool to keep you off balance and questioning yourself. And that's why it's harmful. So this is a really important conversation we're having here.
It's on there. I don't know why it picked up late. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so let me just go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, so in addition to what we shared last week, we have three more reasons to share with you about why gaslighting is harmful. First and foremost, it undermines autonomy. By constantly questioning your decisions and perceptions, gaslighters strip away your sense of control and independence. Victims may feel powerless to make choices without the gaslighter's input or approval. And again, that's a huge problem because we know that the person who was gaslighting you was intentionally keeping you off balance to control and manipulate you. So that's never a good place to be. Under the thumb of a narc, you never want to be there.
Yeah.
Number two, it normalizes abuse. Gaslighting often starts subtly, making it harder to identify as abuse. Victims may internalize the behavior as normal, increasing their vulnerability to future manipulation. Yeah. And also in that particular situation, you get to the point where um, you kind of question yourself at all times, and then you start to internalize the behavior. Maybe if I had done this, or if I hadn't said this, or hadn't looked like that, then this wouldn't happen. But no, some people are just messed up.
Right.
They don't have any emotional intelligence. They lack emotional maturity, and they gonna use you as much as they can because they don't know anything else. And oftentimes they experience that personally growing up because you learn, gaslighting and narcissistic abuse is oftentimes a taught behavior. something that they pick up from somebody else in their lives. So, you know, what's
Yeah.
up with that big old smile on your face?
I'm smiling because Mark said, what did I say? Was I wrong? Now the gaslighter has me confused.
What? What did I say? I forgot.
Yeah, so I was gonna add something, and then I saw his comment, and I was trying not to bust out laughing.
Right. That was like I look up and you smile a little bit like the Cheshire Cat. What you doing?
Yeah, I was gonna make a comment to something you said, but anyway, I don't remember what it was, so you can go ahead. That
Right.
was his comment, though.
Right. And third, it promotes helplessness and hopelessness. Over time, the constant invalidation can lead victims to feel like escape or change is impossible. This sense of hopelessness can make it challenging to break free or seek help.
So before you do the next part, what I wanted to add is where um, when you said victims may internalize the behavior as normal, increasing their vulnerability to future manipulation, I was thinking about, and it was something that you added to that, but I was thinking about blame, blaming myself. Oh, because
Right.
you were saying, well, maybe if I wouldn't have done this, then
Right.
this. So, we tend to, when you've been gaslighted, you tend to blame yourself for the behavior. And it's not you, it's the person that's doing it to you. So I
Right.
just wanted to add that.
Right. Yeah. Taking unnecessary responsibility for somebody else's actions.
Yep.
You know. Yeah. I thought I read that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So why should we address gaslighting and why does it matter? Gaslighting is not just a harmful interpersonal tactic, it's a tool of control that chips away at a person's core identity and well being. By recognizing the signs, understanding its impact, and seeking support, individuals can begin to heal, rebuild self trust, and regain their personal power. Awareness and action are essential to breaking free from gaslighting and fostering a life rooted in truth and emotional safety. Addressing gaslighting is essential because it directly impacts mental, emotional, and relational well being. And here are key reasons why confronting and addressing gaslighting is crucial.
So before we go into that, I want to talk about awareness and action and how important that is. So when you understand about something, then you made yourself aware of it. So bullying, for example, or gaslighting, when you research it and read more about it, and you do everything you can to learn more about it, then you're making yourself aware of it, and then you can put what you've learned into action. But if you're not aware of what it is, then you can't put it into action to help yourself.
Right.
So, uh, Mark, what you say? If I didn't, am I supposed to be reading this? If I didn't take out the trash on Sunday when they said I should have done it on Monday, now they have me confused again. So they are trying to manipulate me. And then he also said, I thought they said they liked ice cream when it was really apple pie they wanted, but they blamed me because I got ice cream. Yeah, that person got a lot of issues, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
that off on you, making you feel guilty, and then shame comes with guilt, you know,
Hmm.
times. So yeah, leave
Make up
them
your mind, man. Yeah. Make up your mind. What do you want? Do you want ice cream or do you want pie? I mean, just you know,
Do you want
ice
him?
cream and pie.
Do you want me?
Right. Do you want him? Do you really want me? Yeah.
I
Man.
love it.
Mhm.
Because you knew the song.
Right.
Okay, so these are the key reasons why confronting and addressing gaslighting is crucial. So we're going to share some stuff with you about that. So preserving mental health. Gaslighting can lead to anxiety, depression, confusion, and self-doubt. Confronting it helps victims regain their sense of clarity, stability, and peace of mind. Nobody likes to be anxious all the time. Nobody likes to be depressed,
Man.
confused, or living in self-doubt. That's a horrible way to experience life. You want to add anything?
Or walking on eggshells all the time because they don't know when the other shoe's gonna drop. It's like, again, I've been there where things are good for a few days. You like, okay, it's kind of, looking around like, is it okay for me to be happy?
Yeah.
Oh, now is this okay? Well, I'm gonna stay quiet so they don't get mad at me and flip out on me. It's like, who wants to live like that at all times? Like,
Right.
that's hell. That's hell. That's hell
It
on earth.
is. It is hell. And yeah, we have on one of our shows, it's been a while, and I'm put some stuff together so I can, give it out so that everybody can have access to the shows, and so that we can look back at them, while we're doing our show. But we talked about bipolar disorder, and we also talked about narcissistic personality disorder.
Right.
And with those disorders, I got too much popping up here. With those disorders, where was I going with that? Anyway, you can go back to those episodes and hear and learn more about those two things: bipolar disorder and narcissistic personality disorder. And people with those are gaslighters because they don't give a doggone about you and nobody else. They only care about themselves. So,
Right. And a person with bipolar disorder, like, not only do they need like counseling, but they need medication because that's a chemical imbalance in the
yeah,
brain. So they need medication. They need to be consistent on it, and they also need the therapy.
yeah,
Um, and now narcissistic personality disorder, I've read some studies that say it's chemical, which I can believe it is. Um, and also a lot of it is taught behavior. You've seen people manipulate and control um, others, and they enforce, or you could be in a situation of you experience the trauma of being manipulated and controlled by that person, and then because you have their fleas, if you don't get them off of you, then you begin to repeat the same cycles. You know.
right. And so, yeah, when he say fleas, we also talked about narcissistic fleas on the
Yeah,
show
so,
too.
yeah. Right.
So, we've talked a lot about the narcissist. We spent
Right.
quite a bit of time on the things on how to recognize a narcissist and how to help yourself and
Right.
help others when they're dealing with the narcissist. So you can go back to those
Right.
shows and see, hear about those things too. Mark said, "Can't walk on eggshells." Didn't Humpty Dumpty try that? He said they crack every time.
Every time, every time. But let me go back and define narcissistic fleas a little bit.
Okay.
So narcissistic fleas are basically traits or personality traits that are similar to the narcissist who you experience narcissism from, or being the narcissistic feed. So they become part of it. They begin to exhibit the same symptoms. Uh,
Behaviors.
right, behavior symptoms. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
So,
the longer you're around a narcissist, the more likely you are to have those fleas. So again, once you get out of a relationship with a narcissist, I say it's extremely important to get to counseling so that you can begin to see these things and start to, utilize tools that help you reverse it. Because man, it ain't pretty. You don't want to be a narc.
right. And you don't want to deal with them either. But you,
Mhm.
I mean, as long as we live, we're gonna, run into them or be
Right.
around them. So the thing to do is what I said earlier. Excuse me, is to make yourself aware, of things, to learn about it, and then learn how to deal with it. So when you do experience it, you already know how to deal with it. You recognize
Right.
and you're like, oh, that's what that is.
Right.
No. So this is how I need to deal with it. I got a choice. Either I can deal with it my way or deal with it the way that I've learned uh,
Hmm.
how to deal with it. Because
Right.
your way may not work And
Right.
it depends a lot on the kind of person or the person that you're dealing with and how close you are to them as to um
How to deal with it.
yeah, thank you, how to deal with them. So
Yeah. And
go ahead.
and the saying goes, knowledge is power. So the more knowledge you have about a particular subject, especially, subjects like that involve interpersonal relationships, it's extremely important to know like the negative side of it all, the manipulations, how to spot it. So that, like you said, when you come into contact with that, it's easy to be like, I see what you're doing, as
Yep.
opposed to you end up under their wing and you deep in a rabbit hole, don't know how you got there, and it's like you knew nothing, but if you have power on the front end, knowledge on the front end, it's like, oh, I see what you're trying to do to me. Nah, that's not happening, buddy.
Yep.
You set them firm boundaries. You set them
Yep.
firm boundaries. Nope, I ain't going. I ain't
Yep.
going. I, I ain't going. You
I
can
don't
go.
know what you thought, but this ain't that.
Right. This ain't that.
So go ahead with the next part.
All right. So number two is reclaiming your personal power. Gaslighting undermines self-confidence and fosters dependence on the manipulator. Addressing it enables victims to rebuild their autonomy and trust in themselves. Number three is preventing long-term emotional damage. Prolonged gaslighting can lead to lasting scars such as low self-esteem, PTSD, or difficulty trusting others. Uh, Early intervention minimizes long-term psychological harm.
So I want to add to that. If you want to add something.
You go first. You go first.
Okay, so when it comes to this, Jean just told you how to prevent the long-term emotional damage. If you don't deal with the situation right then, and you say I'll deal with it later, or you think, oh, it's okay, it ain't really nothing, or whatever, however you think, other than
Hmm.
dealing with the situation, if you don't deal with it right then, when you start to deal with it later, it's going to be a lot of damage and a lot of things packed onto it because
Right.
you didn't deal with it when you recognized it in the first place. So
Right.
you have to, when something hurts you or when something harms you, uh, deal with it
Yep.
right then. Don't be like I'll deal with it later.
Right.
Because you just packing it around and you just keep adding stuff to it. And the longer
Hmm.
you do that, then the more apt you are to incur PTSD or low self esteem or not wanting to
Anxiety.
trust people. I don't trust nobody, having that kind of attitude when, you know, the thing happened a long time ago, whatever it is, and you're holding on to it. And like I said, packing crap on it, we got to learn how to deal with issues when they come. Okay, how is
Right.
this making me feel? How is this making me think? Thank you, Mark. How is this
Yeah.
making me think? I don't want to think like this. I have a choice. So I don't know what's better than this, but I know I don't want this. So let me look for research, ask questions. Let me find out what's going to make this thing better because this is
Right.
not what I want. Like I said a few minutes ago, I don't know what you thought, but this ain't that. I don't want
Right.
that. I want something different. So let me search for that something different. That's something better. Go ahead and add
Yeah.
what you're going to add.
Yeah, I was gonna say also the longer you allow the gaslighting and whatnot to go on, the abuse, the worse it gets with a
Yeah.
person who has narcissistic personality disorder. It gets worse because they
Yeah.
think it, it's similar to shoot, who said that? I believe it was Zora Neale Hurston, and I have to paraphrase. I'm not great with remembering quotes exactly, but in essence, um, but the statement is somewhere along the lines of if you allow them to abuse you and you don't say anything, that they'll think that you loved it. You know, now, again, I'm paraphrasing. I never remember that quote exactly, but that's in essence the crux of it. If you don't say anything, they think you like it, and they'll do more.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. And that does happen. So Mark made a couple comments You mean we don't have to put up with my way or the highway attitude? Nope, we have a
Oh
choice.
no.
Right. And then he said, I have seen some people try to manipulate people in the church environment, and that can be scary sometimes. People manipulate everywhere they go. Everywhere there's a place, people manipulate. If that's the kind of person they are, that's what they do.
Right.
And then you want to ask something? Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and when they show you who they are, believe them the first time.
Right. Maya said it, didn't she?
Oh, yes.
Maya Angelou. And then so Mark also said bought to roll the 988 now seems thank you, Mark. And thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So y'all who haven't been listening to any of our shows, the 988 is the mental health hotline. It's also the suicide hotline. And then Building Bridges, KC.org, is an nonprofit organization of therapists and certified mental health coaches, of which I am one of those, where we help people with mental health, because we do realize it's an important thing to deal with. And so that's what that organization is for. That is not free, like calling 988. You can go to buildingbridgeskc.org and choose your therapist or choose your certified mental health coach to work with. So that's what those are for. You want to go ahead, Gene?
Yeah. I was going to go on to the next one.
Okay.
All right. So another key reason why confronting and addressing gaslighting is crucial is because it promotes healthy relationships. Gaslighting creates a toxic dynamic in relationships, whether personal, professional, or social. Addressing it fosters healthier communication, mutual respect, and emotional safety. And yeah, I mean, in order just to have a good life, you have to be around people who reflect the principles and the thought process that you have.
Right.
And those who respect you. Genuinely and deep down, and it's unconditional, as well as the love, because toxic relationships, just like any, if you were to swallow something toxic over time, it'll kill you. And as you're consuming it, it breaks down your overall well-being. So same thing with toxic relationships.
Yeah.
All right. So, and number 5 is encouraging boundaries and self-worth. Victims often internalize blame and tolerate mistreatment due to a diminished self-worth. Confronting gaslighting empowers individuals to set boundaries and recognize their inherent value. Excuse me.
So
and again,
go ahead.
I was going to say we spoke again early on about setting boundaries. It's important to set boundaries and maintain them. Not only set them, but you have to maintain them. Every time they hit that line, hey, we're not doing that.
Right.
This is what we're doing, or we're doing this.
Yeah.
And just like that in itself is empowering. Setting firm boundaries, standing up, maintaining them, and standing firm on them. That's what I was about to say. Standing firm on those boundaries, as opposed to bending. Oh, maybe this time. No. People who have disorders, you give them an inch, they take a mile.
Yeah.
You give them a mile, they take 100 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Firm block.
Yeah.
Firm block. Stiff arm.
And don't let their emotional bullying get you. Emotional bullying is crying, yelling, and these things are that's
or
part
deflection.
And that is, and Mark said, and even pouting, that's true. So it's something to get you to change what you're saying or what you're feeling or to shut you up. So what just
You're hurting me.
Right. Stop getting into stuff you ain't got no business.
You know, stay in your place. Lord. Anyway.
That's a y'all don't know nothing about that.
It's an inside joke. It's an inside joke.
Yeah, it's an inside joke that we can't share right
Right.
here. But people do crazy stuff and then you know find themselves messed up and then they put the blame on you. Well, you shouldn't have been
Mhm.
looking. What was you looking for? It
Right.
wasn't your business. So now
Yep.
you're in a position where you put yourself so you get hurt.
Mhm.
Anyway, let's move on. You want me to do the next one? You
Yeah, that's
got
cool. You can go ahead.
all right. So number 6 is breaking the cycle. Gaslighters rely on unchecked behavior to maintain control. Calling out gaslighting disrupts the cycle, discouraging continued abuse and manipulation. That's what we just got through talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, and the funniest thing is, like, they'll gaslight the HE double hockey sticks out of you, and then immediately, like, if you stand up to them, they immediately want to play the victim role. Like, how do
Yep.
you start trauma and start drama, and now you mad because I'm speaking up to you?
Right.
But yeah, and then wait a minute, but you started it. It's kind of
Right.
like, and I hate to have, the Blake Lively situation. You know, like, she did all of this stuff, and there's evidence of everything that she said. She and Ryan Reynolds, everything is out there in the open. But you mad at this dude for displaying the stuff that you did,
Yeah.
and now it's in the open. Now you want him to be quiet. You want to put a gag order,
Yeah.
but you started it.
Yeah.
You started it.
And people do, excuse me, people do stuff like that because they don't expect you to speak up for yourself or they don't
Right.
expect you to tell the truth. Just accept my lie, receive it, and deal with it
Hmm.
and shut up. Don't, So,
Take
uh,
it.
yeah. And then so when you start, speaking up and taking up for yourself, then they, in cases like that, start backpedaling. Oh, wait. What you
Hmm.
backpedaling for? You shouldn't have lied in the first place, or you shouldn't have done something negative to me or said something negative to me. And then I'm standing up for myself, speaking up for
Hmm.
myself, or putting you in your place. I'm creating a boundary, and now you don't like it. Okay, now wait, don't tell that part because I didn't mean, well, no. You listen, the truth is the truth, no matter
Period.
what. Tell the truth.
Period. Yep.
Stop
Tell
all
the
the
truth always.
lies.
Yep. Because your lies will find you out. They
Yes.
always do.
Yep.
They always do. And when you least
So,
expect it. Ooh.
huh?
I said, and when you least expect it. Ooh.
Right. Boom.
Pop.
Yep.
No, no. No, don't cry now. Don't cry now, player.
Right.
Don't cry now, player. You started, man. You started
Right.
now. Now, now,
And
now karma's on your
yep.
donkey.
And when you constantly lying on people, the truth will come to light. Mark said those lies will come back and bite you in the backside every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Like a chunk at you.
Yep. And then he said the truth will set you free. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, you know what? I work with this guy. He's a counselor, and he's from
Mm.
California, and he do that
Oh,
a lot. And
yeah.
so when he first started doing it, I just cracked up, and I told him, I used to date a dude from, you know, California, and he used to do that all the time, and I haven't heard
Right.
that for years, and so I wore it out. When he first
Mm.
started doing it again, I was like, wow. So I forgot about it again until you just did that.
Yeah. Good old Ice Cube.
Yeah. And then so the next is breaking the cycle. So we're talking about key reasons why confronting and addressing gaslighting is crucial. And so number 6 is breaking the cycle of manipulation. Gaslighters rely on unchecked behavior to maintain control. Ain't that what I just read?
Yeah, that's why I was doing this.
Uh,
That's why I was doing this.
oh, I wasn't looking. Yeah, I can't see you right now. So rebuilding reality and truth. Gaslighting distorts a victim's perception of reality, leaving them questioning their experiences. Addressing it helps victims reconnect with their truth and trust their instincts. You want to add anything?
Ugh, that's a heavy one right there. Yeah, just part of the narcissistic person's tactics would be to it's called crazy making. So by making you question your own reality and relying on them of all people
Yeah,
for a reality check, yeah, you bound to go insane.
yeah.
They insane. Mm, insane people help people become insane. It's
Insane in the membrane.
insane in the brain. Insane. Got no brain. Type as hell. Come on now. Stop playing.
Mark
Yes,
said
sir.
insane in the membrane too.
Mhm.
All right,
All right,
so
sit down.
number 8, empowering others to speak out. By addressing gaslighting, individuals inspire others to recognize and stand up against manipulation. Creating awareness fosters a culture where abuse is less likely to thrive. So, uh, again, if you address the issue,
Right.
address gaslighting issues, and somebody that's weaker, is in the midst, and can hear, then it gives them the power and the strength to be able to speak up. That's what
Yep.
that's speaking to.
Yep.
So always, if you have the strength and the courage, well, you don't even have to tell people that are bold enough to just speak up and say what they want to say it. They just do it. So just remember, by you doing it the right way, then it helps somebody else that's standing by that don't have the
Right.
courage to speak up for themselves or to create
Right.
boundaries. So
Yeah, you
just
set a positive example. Yep.
yeah. So just know you help people when you do that, but do it in the right way so that you're not being a bully or so that you're not gaslighting somebody else.
Right. Right. Don't return. You can't handle. You say this a lot. You can't handle the problem on the same vibrational plane that it started on. You have to rise above
Yeah. And that was the name just came to me that you can't um, respond to something on the same level it was created on. I can't
it.
even think of his name. Dang it. Oh, well, I can't think of his name. It's a famous person. But
Hmm.
yeah. So number 9, you want to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So number 9 is strengthening communities and workplaces. Gaslighting is not limited to personal relationships. It occurs in professional and social settings. Tackling it in these environments promotes fairness, respect, and a collaborative culture. And it kind of goes back to the last point, empowering others by speaking out yourselves, and then with that, you create a paradigm of people who do that, who are able to speak up for themselves, and then you create a support support group or support system for people who are going through something important like that. Hey,
Yeah, I'll do the next one. So number 10 is okay. First, we are still giving you key reasons why confronting and addressing gaslighting is crucial. So number 10 is healing and personal growth. Confronting gaslighting is a step toward healing and self-discovery. So that's for you. What we were just talking about is how you're helping others. But for your own healing and personal growth, if you confront the gaslighter, remember, again, it's a step toward healing and self-discovery. So victims learn to value their experiences, emotions, and strengths, emerging stronger and more self-aware.
Yep. 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 So as you heal yourself, you help heal others. Like, again, we set the example by our lives, and you never know who's watching. You
Right.
never know. You'd be surprised. People will come to you, years down the line. Man, I remember, I was going through XYZ, and you said this, and that inspired me to do this. Really? Man, I
Yep.
was struggling when I put that up there. Hey, well, you inspired me, and it is just a ripple effect. Um, energetically when you do something positive. Same thing with negative, but positive. Uh, Obviously, is way better for the world around us if we can create a positive ripple. We need more positive energy because it's easy to. Okay, what we done?
Yeah.
Like what we doing? Hey, where them dollars at? Where them dollars? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying now. That threw me off. Oh well, we
And
go on
I'm
to the
looking
next
at Mark's comments, and so that threw me off a little bit.
one. Yeah,
So is it number 12?
11.
You can go ahead, or you want me
All right,
to?
I can do it. All right,
Okay.
so number 11 is restoring self-trust. Gaslighting erodes your confidence in your perceptions, instincts, and decisions. Confronting it allows you to rebuild trust in your own inner voice and intuition, which is essential for mental and emotional stability. Yeah. The first person that you have to trust is you. If you can't
Yep.
trust yourself, then you want a world of hurt because anybody can come and flip over your boat. If you constantly doing this, don't know where you are, then yeah, it's easier for someone to just be like, boop, you flipped over. All right, hey, no, it's your fault. If you had done this, yeah, it's just easy to manipulate when you don't trust yourself. So yeah, and journaling is a great way to foster self trust and self knowledge. Like when you're dealing with a person with narcissistic personality disorder and who gaslights often is it's man, I would suggest like writing down what happened, in the moment. Write it down so you can go back to it and be like, well, no, I got it written right here with a time and a date on it. And this is what happened. Or even if you have to record. And it it's crazy that people even have to do that in relationships, but it is what it is. It may not be fun, but it's wise to always be prepared to cover your own tail end. It
Yeah.
is.
Yep. Sorry, I'm chatting with Mark.
Oh, I'm like, I see the smile on your face. I'm like, okay, they chatting. Okay.
Yeah. Um. So is it number 12?
12, yeah.
All right. So number 12, preventing chronic stress. Constantly doubting your reality creates a state of heightened stress. Who wants stress? Addressing gaslighting reduces the emotional toll, lowering the risk of stress related physical health issues like headaches, fatigue, or high blood pressure. You want to
Hmm.
add anything?
Yeah. Or, or even deeper, strokes. Stress is the number one silent killer. Stress creates all types of diseases. Stress creates cancer. Stress creates um, issues with the central nervous system.
Right.
Uh, Stress creates imbalances in your digestive system. I know that personally.
Yeah.
Um, you know, uh, Creates a situation where you're always anxious and now your nerves are fried and your brain is fried. So, there are people who, from stress, there's stress related dementia and Alzheimer's, so it goes deep. It's not nothing to sleep on. Like you are dealing with someone who constantly has you on a high stress level. You need to go away from them fast because it
Right.
can kill you,
Right.
literally and figuratively speaking, but
Yeah.
literally as well.
Uh, yeah. So you want to deal with those things. You have to. So you want to do number 13 or you want me to do
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Number 13 is reclaiming identity. Gaslighting distorts your sense of self, making you feel disconnected from your values, goals, and desires. Confronting it helps you rediscover who you are and what matters most to you, fostering personal growth and empowerment. And to on the back end of that, it's like, yeah, when you tend to lose yourself when you are in a relationship with a person who's constantly gaslighting you and trying to manipulate and control you. Um, Man, it's like you have to give up parts of yourself to even stay in that relationship comfortably. And I put quotations around that because what's comfortable always being in a state of high stress and anxiety where you don't know when this person's gonna flip out over and what they're gonna flip out about. You know,
Right.
you they could stub their toe or something. They ain't got nothing to do with you, but now they mad at you and everybody else in the house because they stubbed their toe.
Right.
How about you just watch where you're going? Anyway,
Right. And
how about you
quit
just watch where you
blaming
go?
everybody else for your issues.
Right, yeah, yeah. And they tend to, again, like the person who's the victim of this, they begin to try to adjust and adapt to that person who was controlling and manipulating them, and that's what they want. That is control and manipulation. They're molding you into the being that they want you to be
Yeah.
so that you're easy prey.
Right.
And then they
Awesome.
emotionally and mentally drain you of all yourself and then leave a heap of nothingness on the back end. So,
Yeah. Mark said they thought the floor jumped up and attacked them, or actually, you intentionally moved the floor to attack them.
rise, rise,
Get them, floor. Get
right.
them. um, all right. So you did 14.
13.
13. So number 14, strengthening emotional regulation. Gaslighting often triggers overwhelming emotions like anger, confusion, or sadness. Addressing it promotes emotional clarity, enabling you to process your feelings constructively and regain balance.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's good.
Another thing with the emotional regulation is that, like, yeah, like you ever been in a situation where a person has done something to you, you get upset or frustrated, and then they trip out because you're upset. You got an anger problem. You taking this too far. You thinking too hard. It wasn't even that crucial.
Gaslighting
So
like a
you,
mother.
woo, yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute, player. You over here jaw jacking and acting a whole fool over here. Now I'm frustrated and now I'm the problem.
Yeah,
But you over there having a tantrum.
yeah,
And I addressed your tantrum. Now I'm the issue because I'm frustrated that your grown is having a tantrum. Go sit down. Just go sit down somewhere. I don't know. Don't turn nose to the wall. Nose to the wall. Don't say nothing. But no, but in a situation like that though, you have to be firm in who you are, set those firm boundaries, and then you have to stonewall them.
yeah,
Keep whatever you say to them very short and concise, very factual, no emotions. Don't tell them I feel because they don't care. They don't care
yeah,
about how they feel.
yeah.
They don't care. They have no to give. Um, they have not a one. So yeah, man, just to protect yourself, you have to cut them off. Be short and concise, and if they start going in again, just leave. Take a walk. And if you
Yeah,
can stay away, because that's gonna be the best for the long term.
you're right. Because you got to keep your mental together. And it's
Man,
hard,
you fair?
when you are succumbing to what other somebody else is saying or doing all the
Right.
time, because that's what they want you to do. And that's part of manipulation, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It's all a game to them, man. It's all a game of inches. Ooh, can I get this? If I get this, I can get that. You know what I mean? It's just who got time? Well, a narc. But anyway, I was gonna say, who got time to sit around and plot and scheme on trying to manipulate and control somebody. Like, what was that? That was
I don't
interesting.
know, Mark. What was that? So the thing about that though is I don't understand. That's a lot of energy
Right,
to be plotting and scheming and manipulating, and that's a lot of negative energy.
yeah, yep,
And how can you? I don't understand how it's not exhausting that person mentally.
right.
You're exhausting other people, but you should be even more exhausted. How you still in the game? I mean, really? That's what we're doing? And Mark said it's very tiring.
Yeah. And, and if you think about it though, so we also have to look at the other side of it all. Like people who gaslight and people who have narcissistic personality disorder, they deal with deep states of depression. And one of the symptoms of it is sleeping excessively, you know, or isolating yourself. We know a person who does that,
Yeah.
you know. They always in the bed or something like that or needing to relax. But it's like, yeah, you need to relax, but you need to get off of that. You own some BS over here when you could just be a straightforward person and treat people like you want to be treated. But no, you're wasting time and energy, manipulate. And I can imagine like if they were to do some kind of EKG or something like that or a CAT scan on a person who has a narcissistic personality disorder. I bet you their central nervous system is whack, like fried. I could imagine.
Yeah. I never even thought of that.
Yeah, because
But
they're high anxiety. Like in order to do what they do, they have to be high anxiety.
yeah.
To be on someone else's all the time and what they doing and what they not doing and da 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 da. Like your mind got to be fried. Who got it? Just the thought of it made me want to go take a nap. I need a nap right now in the middle of the show. Can I just give me a 10 minute show?
After the show. After the show.
Right. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll stay that away for a minute. Man,
All right, y'all. So did you want to add something else? Sorry.
I didn't talk enough. We can go on to the next one.
So number 15, right?
Hmm.
All right, number 15, enhancing cognitive clarity. Manipulation tactics create mental fog and confusion, hindering decision making and problem solving. Whoa.
Yep.
Overcoming
Yep.
gaslighting clears this fog, sharpening your cognitive abilities and restoring focus.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's easy to get lost in that fog when they're, excuse me, constantly making you question everything about yourself. Like it's easy to not trust your own mind, and
Yeah.
that, I mean, think about that. Not being able to trust your own mind because someone else has told you that your mind is not trustworthy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's horrible. So we are still sharing with you key reasons why confronting and addressing gaslighting is crucial. You want to read that
Mhm.
one?
Yeah. All right. So number 16 is promoting healthy yeah, coping mechanisms. Trying to look at too many things at the same time. Gaslighting can push victims into unhealthy coping behaviors such as avoidance, over apologizing, or self isolation. Yeah, mine was self isolation.
Yeah.
Addressing it encourages healthier responses like self advocacy, seeking support, and establishing boundaries. And also great things, yeah, seeking support, journaling, therapy, all of those things are again help you have healthy coping mechanisms and tools to help you process emotion and thoughts and experiences with a person who makes it difficult for you to even breathe.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You want to do the next one or you want me to?
You do it, my. tablet is low on power. Let me charge this thing.
Okay, so supporting physical health. Emotional abuse like gaslighting can manifest physically through tension, insomnia, or weakened immunity. Resolving the psychological impact improves sleep, reduces physical discomfort, and boosts overall health. Number 18, encouraging social reconnection. Gaslighting isolates victims, creating feelings of loneliness and mistrust. Addressing it opens the door to reconnecting with supportive friends, family, or communities, fostering belonging and emotional safety. So, recognize when you're having feelings of loneliness and mistrust, or when you're isolating yourself, because that is not a good thing to do. The good thing to do is what I read, and that is addressing the issue and then reconnect with supportive friends, families, or communities. You get a support group that you can trust, people that you can talk to. Don't isolate, because isolating temporarily is okay, but when you isolate and you continue to do that for hours, that leads to days, days leads to months, months lead to years. That's not a good thing to do. A good thing to do is to do what I just said. Find somebody that you can talk to. If you need to think about it for a little bit, off to yourself, do that. But don't let that last, because that can lead to danger and even more self-isolation. Like I said, for longer periods of time. You want to add something?
Right. And also, like, it promotes a person to get into those suicidal and homicidal ideation states where you're thinking about killing yourself or harming someone else. Then that's never a good thing.
Right.
So yeah, having a solid support system is definitely needed. Absolutely needed.
Yeah. So Mark said, and all of that stress can lead you to not feeling well. We must have been drinking the same stuff, even though you're in Kansas and I'm in Tennessee.
Right.
I
Oh,
think
goodness.
all this talking, we pulling in this air.
Right. Exactly.
And Mark also said can lead to mental, emotional, and physical unwellness if you let them manipulate you into being sick. And that can happen too. Next thing you know, you're real sick, and it's because you talk about it, Gene. That stress is stored in your body, in different areas of your body.
Right. Yeah, and your cells, like, they hold on to stress and drama and things like trauma. I keep saying drama, but trauma. They hold on to trauma in your cell memory. And the more you experience those times of high trauma and high anxiety, your body begins to replicate those cells that have a lot of stress and anxiety, and that's what causes disease over time. So again, it's imperative that you have a great support system. You have a way to decompress from the stress and anxiety of dealing with someone who gaslights you all the time, or who's a narcissistic person, or who has bipolar disorder or whatever. You have to find a way to get those things out of you. Movement is great, journaling is great, music is great, taking walks in nature, great. Taking off your shoes and walking in the grass or in the sand, or hugging a tree, hug a tree, hug a tree. Those are great ways to ground and release negative energy that can become stockpiled in your body and create something that puts you in a state of physical unwellness, like Mark said. Again, can kill you early, because we all die. I mean, that's inevitable. But who wants to suffer before they die? So
yeah. So Mark said trauma can be a form of drama, yes, and then it comes from drama.
Right, exactly.
Some sort of drama. And then he also says, sounds like a song title for Gene. Trauma can be a form of drama.
Hey, well, you know, exactly.
So, number 19, is that where we are?
I believe we're at 17.
No, because we read addressing that opens the ice, talking about the isolation,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
yeah, and reconnecting with supportive, you know, support. So
yeah.
it's 19.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you had it. So
Yeah,
recovering, huh?
go ahead.
Okay. So number 19 is building resilience. Recovering from gaslighting strengthens your ability to face future challenges. It equips you with tools to recognize manipulation early and stand firm in your truth.
Yeah.
So
And that
that's,
translates to everything else.
yep, that's how you can build resilience. So go ahead with the next one.
All right, and number 20 is improving relationship dynamics. Gaslighting often occurs in toxic relationships that can spill over into other areas. So confronting it sets the stage for healthier, more respectful interactions in all relationships. So the more you stand up for yourself in a situation of gaslighting, the more likely you are to continue that in other relationships that foster healthy relationships.
Yep. And so if you would do, we're almost out of time. You want me to do 21 or you want to do it and then we can, you want,
I can do it.
okay.
Remember, these are key reasons why confronting and addressing gaslighting is crucial. Number 21, protecting long term psychological health. Left unaddressed, gaslighting can lead to lasting trauma, self doubt, and feelings of worthlessness. Resolving these issues early reduces the risk of developing conditions like PTSD or chronic anxiety.
So don't ignore negative things that are happening to you. Um, Deal with those issues, at the time they're happening. Deal with them in a positive way, and that will help you move forward. So, Mark has a comment. What if the tree hugs you back? We notice when. Oh, did you want me to read this? I don't think you can read this. um, yeah, I'm not gonna read that. You want me to read it, then type yes, read it. Um, but this is our show. So we have been sharing a lot of information with you about dealing with the manipulator and how, um, if you don't deal with I'm saying manipulator, with the gaslighter, if you don't deal with that type of behavior, as it happens. So he said, read it. So, what if the tree hugs you back? We noticed when the Quakers were here that one of the trees looks like it is literally leaning on the building.
Mm.
Wonder if plants ever feel like they are being bullied.
Yes, yes, by humans, yes, with their crazy self, cutting
Chopping.
down trees, and yeah, chopping down rainforests or whatnot, just so they can build a building and then not replant. Like, never mind. That's a whole nother spiel right there.
So we hope that this information is helping you and that is giving you the knowledge, giving you more knowledge about gaslighting. It certainly is us. It's helping us to learn how to deal with things and to help. It's helping us be more aware of what's happening, and how to deal with it. So you want to add something, Gene?
Uh, Man, just again, always be. I said this every time we end this talk about gaslighting. Just always be vigilant. Always pay attention to what's going on. Um, be aware of the not only the words and the actions that a person does, but even the way that they say things, their body language. there's a lot of information that you get from just watching the way a person looks, or their body moves, or even the tone in their voice when they
Yeah.
say certain things. So just be ever aware. Always keep your eyes open. Keep your head on the swivel.
On the swivel.
On the swivel.
So y'all, that's our time for now. We have a few more parts to cover on this, and we'll do that next week, and then we'll go into some other things as well. So this is a continual conversation. Like I've said on other shows, we'll be covering this conversation about gaslighting for a while. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. We send you peace. We send you love. Take care, and bye for now.